Mr. Charrandas Persaud.
Yes, yes, yes.
When the vote was ready to start, everyone who was here they were hearing whispers about somebody who was going to go against the House, but no one knew who it was. So when it was the time for the government to vote, everybody was there, ready, locked in. When it got to Mr. Persaud and he said yes, the place erupted. It was a good thing that it was me and another photographer here, because immediately I went outside to my supervisor to try to find out what to do. And I told the next photographer, you stay inside and you shoot. Don't try to get everything that you can. He was like, but go back inside.
4 years ago, local photojournalist Keno George was among the dozens of media operatives squeezed into the small media corner of the public buildings at Brickdam, Georgetown for the historic sitting of the National Assembly. On that night, December 21st, 2018, AFC parliamentarian Charrandas Persaud defected and voted in favour of a no-confidence motion brought against the APNU+AFC government by the then opposition party, the PPPC.
Well, we voted for that. That stifled my conscience. That is because of party lines.
It didn't immediately set in that he would be part of an unforgettable part of Ghana's political history, but that night, George was intent on capturing the events that unfolded and the raw emotions of the people involved. This, he says, is his intention at every event, be it sittings of the National Assembly or a seemingly mundane press conference.
There were about 20, 30 photographers and cameramen here. You had to be fighting for space. Good thing me being as tall as I am, 6'6", I was able to be over the top of everybody so that I wasn't able to miss any of my shots. With photojournalism and photography of itself, it's all about capturing emotions. So I've always told my photographers that work with me, and on that day, try to get as closest to the subject as possible to see that emotions on their face, because at the end of the day, no matter what assignment you're on, no matter what kind of photos you're taking, you want your images to tell a story. And that's what I've always tried to do with my photography, is to tell a story. And on that day, I guess the story came out perfect.
His photos, dramatic and black and white, were later shared on his personal Facebook page and published by local newspapers and websites. But it wasn't until a year later, when he got an online reminder that he captured these photos, that his wife Keno George pushed him to do something with the images. Even then, he didn't immediately act on her suggestions, but when the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport launched its Creative and Cultural Industries grant, he seized the opportunity to curate those images and create his own publication. He deems it a story told through images, and it illustrates what he saw through his camera lenses on the night of the no-confidence motion.
Why I did it as a book is because with Guyana's history, we think that, you know what, we can just post everything on Facebook. We can post this on Facebook, or we can post it on social media. But 10, 15, 20 years down the line, something happens, then what? So I decided to go ahead with this publication in this way, because I want it to be something that, you know, people can have for a long time. People can have, and they can be sitting with their children, explaining to them. Something that could be maybe even in a school system where it's taught, because as I say, it's a part of history, something that happened.
So far, support in both Guyana and online has exceeded his expectations, and George believes that there's a real appetite for his storytelling.
I think the day of the event is something that goes down in history. And it's a day that I would say most adult Guyanese know about. It's a day that most adult Guyanese would always remember, because it was a change in the political history in Guyana in terms of from going back to the party that was in power before.
Reporting for the newsroom, I am Vishani Raghavar.